So I got to start on my project, but I'm not really liking what the edges look like. Sorry about the lighting, I'm sitting in the car dealership right now, but the edges just look sloppy. I don't like the way the back looks. The floats going up the side aren't right. So rather than leave it, I'm going to tear it out and end up with yarn spaghetti. But I think I'm going to try an I-cord edging. We'll see what happens. Hey guys, welcome to day 5, I think we're up to, of Advent. Welcome back to the office yet again, but check it out, it's actually light outside. So it's like 11:30. My morning so far, my car has still been acting up after all we've gone through this year together. So had an appointment at 8:30 for the car. Sat and fixed something on my knitting, which I'm going to show you in a second. I apologize, I couldn't get a really good before picture because the lighting of the dealership waiting room was not super great this morning. But then went and stopped, got lunch, came in, it's about 11:30. I've got a bunch of stuff to do here, but it shouldn't be a super late night tonight, so I'm super excited about that. Hang on for 1 second though, let me show you my knitting. All right, it's like all tangled and everything, but you'll be able to get the idea. So if you remember, this was day 1 of Advent. This was day like 3, I think. My little first mini, how pretty they are together. And I took a picture, I'll see if I can insert it right here. But I had started my For Granny Shawl, and it starts out at one of the corners in a point and grows, has a few like setup rows, and then you start striping 2 colors together. Like I said before, in most of the examples, the colors are very close together, so it's a subtle stripe, but this is Advent, and subtle is not what we're going for. So I started it out, and I got several kind of stripe repeats in, and I didn't like the way the edges looked. For this particular pattern, the decrease stitches are the first and last stitch of one of the rows, and that combined with trying to carry the unused yarn up the side as I was striping, it just made like the edges look like trash, and I just wasn't happy with it. And sometimes when you first start knitting on a project, the first few rows don't look that great and you're like, this is not working out, but once you get a little bit further, it all kind of evens and it looks good. But this was making me really nervous, and I was like, if I'm not gonna enjoy this, if I'm not gonna like the finished product, then it's just not worth it. So I tore it out, but I still like the project. I just didn't like the edges. So what I did is I added an I-cord. So I have never, I think that's accurate. I think that actually the only I-cord edge I've ever done was for the Stephen West MCAL for 2022. Yeah, and I loved the way it looks. It's like such a clean finished edge. But that one with the I-cord cast on, you did like a really long I-cord, and then you like picked up stitches along it. But this starts at a point. So it's like, how in the world do you do an I-cord start at like a point of a shawl? So I looked up some stuff online, kind of played around with it, and that's what I came up with. So it starts with a little bit more of a point than what the shawl actually intends, but I actually kind of like that as a detail. The other end just keeps growing. This one, the other one, it goes down to a point. So I'll have to figure out how on the other side to mimic that same edge. I was thinking in my head that it like ended on a long row, but it doesn't. It does come back down to a point, but I'll figure that out. But I love the way that looks, and look how clean those edges look. I am so happy. And as an unintended benefit, I forgot the fact that you can actually add, or not add, you can hide your ends, your little scrappy ends, inside of the I-cord, and they won't come out. And so not only does it hide the striping, but it'll hide the ends so I don't have to weave them in, and it won't like show on the back side. So it's almost gonna be reversible. So really excited about that. So basically how I did it, started with 3 like I-cord stitches, and then slid them down, knit, and I increased with the front back each time until I had the right number of stitches for the cast on, plus 3 on each side. Then I started working the I-cord across 3 stitches on each edge and then following the pattern in the middle. And I think that's just made it look really, really clean. So very happy with that. But for now, gotta get to work, gotta clean up some stuff from firework night and work on some other stuff, some scheduling stuff. And then I might take a break to do some knitting, but we'll see what happens. All right, check in later. So Moose and I are on an adventure. I got a text while I was at work. I can't remember if I said this in my video earlier, but got a text that one of my lambs had been attacked by a coyote. So apparently the place where I'm keeping my sheep right now, she had let the sheep out into the back pasture. It's not really fenced back there, but it's like woods. They don't really go anywhere, so it's like fine. But I don't know if they were back in just that back pasture last night or if she had put them up in the front pasture again. But she went out and there she could see like little tufts of wool and where there had been like a skirmish, and one of the lambs was hiding in the shelter all by his lonesome. And so by the looks of it, he had gotten in a scuffle with a coyote, but thank God has gotten away without any sort of serious injury. So I don't know if he just took off or if like Sergeant, my ram, decided to do his job and chase the coyote off, or if maybe, you know, her dog started barking and scared it off or something. But I'm gonna go and check on the lamb. Again, she said he's completely fine, just a little shaken up. But she had put him and his mom away in the shelter just so he could like chill out and recuperate a little bit. But Moose, you can probably see his little head popping up over the box back there. Moose and I are heading out there now. I'm gonna let him do some rounds to spread his scent. Now, like I said, she has a dog, and he's not super friendly, but she puts him out every day and he runs the woods. And so I'm hoping maybe just having a second big dog scent back there will just help discourage the coyotes, because I've already lost how many to coyotes or something else this year. I don't want to lose any more. Oh, God. No, it's just so upsetting because, like, especially I lost all of my market lambs, lost my best ewe. Yeah. Lost my original ram, which is also upsetting because now I have no way to breed that original Rommeldale CVM flock because these guys had lines that went back to the original flock. So that's upsetting. It's gonna be hard to find another one of them, but do what you gotta do. I'll see if I can take some footage while we're running around with the sheep. Yeah, so you can see where the fight went down over here. He is so lucky to have gotten away. You can see where like he was dragged a little bit. His wool is all over the ground. More over there. Come here, Moose. Moose is supposed to be doing his snipping and marking job, but he decided to go kill a chicken instead. So now he's back on leash. But hopefully us wandering around, so there's a scent of 2 dogs instead of just 1, will maybe dissuade the coyotes a little bit. I don't know, they're being a little bit weird this year. Not only have I already lost several sheep to the coyotes, but apparently somebody, come back, Moose. But apparently somebody had been walking a dog near the other field and they actually had a coyote attack their dog on leash. Now, fortunately, owner and dog are both okay, but still, it's getting pretty crazy. Oh, excuse me. Get back. Hi, big girl. You know. Almost. Oh my gosh, guys, I am so sad on like three different fronts. So first of all, poor little lamb buddy. He's okay. Got some of the footage while I was there doing our little save the sheep mission. It was horrible. The little area where he was attacked, you could see like a bunch of his wool had gotten pulled out. There's like drag marks on the ground. I have no idea how he got away without being like seriously injured. I mean, I'm telling you, like seriously, the ram had to have like kicked it into high gear, or Denise, who's his mom, had to have like stomped the crap out of this coyote or something to make it give up and run away. I'm telling you, it's crazy. But we went and took a look. Poor little buddy, like I said, he's fine. But when I got there, he was still sitting in the shelter while all the other sheep were like outside. And then he came out to say hi when everyone came over. And by the end of the night when I was leaving, he had gone back in the shelter and was hiding. So I couldn't even get a good picture of him. So poor little guy. Moose was naughty while he was there and chased and killed a chicken, which was really unfortunate because he should have run in the other direction to chase the coyotes off, not gone to play with the chickens. But anyway, so that was sad too. But we finished that and I took him out for a treat. We went to Dairy Queen, which I don't know if I've ever taken him out for a drive-through for like a good snack. And so I thought he was gonna like try to claw his way into the front seat because he's highly food driven, loves food. But he was so good. He waited for his chicken tenders and his fries. And anyway, so that was fun. And then I got back and I was like, I'm gonna just crawl straight into bed. And it's not actually that late, it's like not even 7. I was like, I'm just gonna crawl straight into bed and, you know, work on my knitting and it's gonna be great. And then I realized I didn't open, can't even get the right way. I didn't open day 5 Advents yet. And I haven't finished editing and posting my video, obviously. So I was like, I gotta go upstairs. And I came upstairs and I realized that I must have forgotten to put the box that I usually use to block the French doors in front of it. And the dogs had broken in to my mess of a studio and they'd stolen a coffee cup and a ball of yarn. Fortunately, a ball of yarn I don't really like, so I'm just gonna probably put it in the trash. Knock some stuff off because I see some more stuff that's on the floor. What losers. And then I was like, I don't have a place to film either because I rearranged the middle of my room and it's chaos. So we're just gonna sit over here for a bit and we'll figure out the rest of it later. But let's go for our Advents. So let's start with Hedgehog. I got a glimpse of blue. I started opening it. Oh, I think this one might be my favorite one yet. All right. That's pretty. Again, this is not the best lighting in here because I just have the overhead and it's obviously dark outside. But this is really pretty. It's like a little bit deeper, a little more saturated. Let's see if I can get it apart without tangling it again. I have a feeling that's not quite right. I can see the one that's not. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh. I think that's right. Okay. And so it's this really pretty, like dark green, and it still has like those little pops of the bright yellow and some black speckles. I think there's some black speckles in there. But wow, that is a really, really pretty color. So I'm looking forward to having that. Again, I'm still a couple colors behind because I was working on Magpie today. All right, this one sounds like it could be yarn again. Let's take a look. Huh, it is yarn. Check that out. I think I'm gonna really like this one. Striped with that dark color. It's just a really nice, let's look at it first. So this is Aquarius. And it's this really nice kind of medium blue. And then it has speckles of, let's see if I can, oh no. Hold on. Nobody panic. This one's not in like the right spot. Hang on. Oh gosh, this has been a rough night. Oh, that's not right. This is gonna take forever to wind. That was all user error, is not a disclaimer. It was my fault, not Magpie Fibers. Okay, so it's this really pretty like medium blue, and it's got these little speckles. Oh, I wish the lighting were better. Of like purple, and it looks like it could just be purple speckles that broke, but you can see like yellow and blue, and it's just a really, really pretty color. And so I think this will look great striped in with that dark bluey purpley color as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and wind these guys up and show you what they look like. All right, guys, so this is what they look like caked up. Ugh, the light is driving me crazy. Oh well, so it's gonna happen in winter, I guess. So anyway, these are all ready to go. Again, I think I'll pack this guy back in the hedgehog box and put it back in the calendar. The other one's gonna come downstairs with me because now I am going to fulfill my dream of crawling into bed with the dogs and my knitting and just relaxing. And I also opened up my Reese's peanut butter chocolate trees that I got from Target the other day. And so I'll have those for dessert too. Yay. All right, so have a great night and I will see you guys tomorrow.